easiest way to...
This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks. I'm your host today. Make sure to check out scorenashville.org. We have plenty of classes and lots of help for those that are starting a business. So, our first guest today, Alex Carter, founder of WHITEBOX, works with clients to tell their stories via video. Thanks for being here, Alex.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
Yeah, so since starting your company, you've pivoted, which is very common for entrepreneurs. Tell us why you did this and what you're up to now.
So it's ironic because when I started the company, the first bit of advice everybody seemed to give me was, hey, just focus on what you're good on and do that. Just focus on what you're good at, focus on that. And I was like, oh, for sure. But you get into this almost feeling that you have to try to meet everybody's needs.
Yeah.
And you want to meet as many people's needs as possible because that'll widen your horizons, I guess. And it took me about 5 or 6 months to realize, you know, you don't need to meet everybody's needs. You need to focus on what you're really good at. And for me, that happened to be filmmaking and video production. So.
Well, I know you personally, you're really good at other things as well, but film is where video is a passion for you. Definitely.
And I think you can be good at something and still not enjoy doing it.
Yes.
So for me, I don't want to load my days with something that I'm gonna dread having to go sit down in front of a computer and do, or I don't want to load my days with something I don't want to do. I want to load my days with stuff that I love doing, and I don't want to think of work as separate from other things. So
and of course so talk to us a little bit about balancing your passion with earning a living.
So that's the ultimate riddle, right? Is kind of how do you earn a living, how do you pay the bills, and then do what you love at the same time. And I feel like that's kind of what a lot of people are trying to balance or figure out in 2018, 2019. And for me, I was lucky. I came out of school. I didn't have a lot of commitments or debt, and I was able to kind of immediately work into what I was passionate about. And it still took me time to kind of hone in and figure out exactly what I wanted to do. But you just have to find time to make space for what you're passionate about. And the thing is I still have to do things I don't love doing. There's aspects to everything
all jobs have that
you're not going to enjoy. But I try to always make time for the things that I enjoy, even if it's outside of what my clients...
And with what you're doing, what it seems that you really enjoy is video and telling stories via video. And whether it's telling a story that is something you want to do personally or helping a client tell their story, it's still,
It's still amazing because, I mean, when you're telling a client's story, you still get all of those... You get to bring in all of those aspects that you learn for yourself.
Absolutely.
So
the video industry, like many other businesses, has companies selling low-quality offerings. How would you coach entrepreneurs that are talking to video companies?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're trying to find a video company or a production company to work with, there's a couple of things you need to be wary of. There's a lot of people out there nowadays who they get a camera and they get maybe a stabilizer or something, and for about $2,000–3,000 they're in the door. And it doesn't mean they can't make a good video, but there's a lot more that goes into making a quality product than that.
And they're more than that, and how to frame someone properly.
Right. There's going to be things that are going to make your video more viewable. Are they good at telling a story? What kind of story are you trying to tell? Because sometimes you're going to be able to get away with a certain type of video, where in other times you might need a different type of video. It's like anything, you have to kind of find the right tool for the situation. But I'd be wary of people who say that they're going to deliver immediately after the shoot. Be wary of that. Editing is something that not a lot of people understand. But there's 3 stages to producing a piece of video. There's pre-production, so there's your writing, your planning, your design, and just designing the concept. Then there's production, and that's kind of when you're filming. That's the you're in the act. And then there's post-production, and post-production is its own stage, but that's your editing and kind of bringing your final product together, and that takes just as much time as the other 2, if not more. And so when you finish shooting, you're not going to go straight to having a final product.
Would people expect to?
Usually, with my experience, it's about 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
Now, there are special circumstances. Somebody may need a piece of content quickly. There's some things that have quick turnarounds. An interview, for example.
Right.
Like what we're doing right now. You can have a really quick turnaround with stuff like this. But if you're producing something more
like a branding video that they can use for many years. Yeah.
You're going to have to expect like 30 to 60 days is usually the period. And I mean, other factors come up too. How many other people or the company that you're working with are they working with?
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to balance that. So, but yeah, watch your turnaround time. Also watch your cost. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. These things cost money. There's a lot of costs that go into producing a piece of content that a lot of people aren't aware of, I think. You have to pay for cameras. Do you need actors? Do you not need actors? There's just a lot of factors that go into it. So,
yeah. Okay. Okay. So, how much should entrepreneurs expect to pay for quality video?
Yeah. Really, again, it depends on what you need.
Yeah.
So. I feel like most high-end videos, if you're producing high-quality content, you're going to expect to pay at least $500, and it can go from there upwards of $10,000 depending on what you need. I mean,
for $500, that would be like an interview.
Like you're showing up and maybe doing some social media content or something like that.
Yeah.
Interview's a good example. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of bottom end stuff. I mean, but if you need stuff where, like I said on the last thing, if you're going to need to hire actors, that's going to add cost.
Right.
If you're going to need to acquire certain settings,
to have
things
something
like that.
where, something easy would be an interview.
Right.
To actually do a branding video that they can really use for a while, you're starting to go into a lot more money.
Right. I mean, you're definitely going to get into the thousands.
Yeah.
And then upwards. I mean, it depends on. Sky's the limit. How much do you want to put into it? There's a reason it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to make some of these films and things like that, or these TV spots.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on 30-second TV commercials.
Right.
And because there's a lot that goes into producing that.
Right.
So.
Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Ladies and gents, we'll be right back.